Hello, hello, Tyler Bryden here. I hope everything's going well. CEO and co-founder of Speak AI. I know I've said that many times, but glad to be here. It's a version of What's New in Speak. It's the November 2024 edition. Can't believe that we've been flying through this year, and it's been a crazy year. Our company, technology in general, and very excited to move towards the end of it, close it out, take everything we learned, and continue to improve the system for you. We've got some good releases as always here today, but before we jump in, I'll let Vatsal do an intro here while I pull up the deck.
Hello. This is Vatsal, one of the co-founder and CTO at Speak. Here we are with another month and happy to dive into that and share more.
Okay, beautiful. And we're up on the screen. Speak AI. We've been around since 2019. We launched the first version of the product in 2020. Since then, we've been working with a ton of incredible teams. And the goal is really, you got some unstructured language data, audio, video, and text. We work a lot with interviews, focus groups, one-on-one meetings, phone calls, some survey data. How can we take that unstructured data, turn it into insights, and do that to help you save time and money? And we're seeing a lot of success with that, with over 80% in time and cost savings. And some of the teams who have been using that and benefiting from the way that we've applied this technology are right up here on the screen. The list continues to grow, and super excited to continue working with some great teams and partners on the platform. So let's jump right into it here. Exciting. This is not a huge product update in terms of the technology, but did want to drop one note for you here about bigger pricing discounts on longer plans. So 6 months was formerly 5%. The yearly plan was formerly 10%. It's up. So basically doubled 10% on the 6 months and now 20% on the yearly. So take advantage of this plan now, jump on the pricing page. And I think this is a trend, just to touch on it, Vatsal jump in here too, of just as we optimize the technology, optimize the platform, we're always trying to help you with better pricing so that it's more value for you. And even as we round out the end of this year, we're going to continue to try to push this and make sure that you're getting the value that you want out of the platform. And if you have any feedback on pricing, how can we improve this for you? Feel encouraged to send us a note. We always love getting that feedback. And of course, anytime you can obviously shoot us a message in live chat or book on a call. And if you've got big volume or you're doing some interesting stuff, more than happy to figure out something that works with you.
I think at the end, the customer wins, and how we ended up here with 20% discount on the yearly plan is to re-optimize, the pricing for at the end to the customer to see if we could do more benefit to the end user and how much value you are getting at the end of the day. So I think this is the good win. And again, we are still working on many other stuff to re-optimize the pricing, give the better value year over year and also on the day-by-day basis as well.
Yeah, I'm struggling to remember the original first pricing that we were doing, but it was maybe like 20 cents per minute for transcription of audio and video. That's been reduced like 10 times, more than 10 times. So I just wanted to throw that out at the top of the call here, but we do have some exciting development pieces that we're sharing here in this call. And the biggest question is what's new in Speak. We continue to see people create a couple assets within Speak. So one of them is the actual embeddable recorder. If you haven't checked out the embeddable recorder, create a little iframe link or a branded page and capture audio video from almost anywhere in the world. Really great intuitive capability. You also have individual media players. So maybe you have a meeting, like one Vatsal and I are in here now with our meeting assistant. Immediately after, you want to share that out. And then the last one is the actual library. Some people refer to them as the repository. And all of those are assets that you're sharing and allowing other people to interact with. And one of the things that we've continuously getting asked has been, hey, I want to know who's interacting with this, or what is the interaction level of these assets that I'm creating and sharing. And so very happy to tell you that is now live in the platform. You can jump in, see the interaction that people are having, and we've really broken it down in some nice ways.
Yeah, I think it's the analytics more around just not when we deploy these changes, but also historical data. Even if you are the Speak user, if you have shared the recorder, share the media player, or even the library, you will be able to see all the historical event in details. And it does display very accurately. Before, we used to just display the number of views, speaking specific about the media player and the media repository, which you share after the meeting or share enter the project with your client. However, with this new change, you should be able to go deeper down and understand into the different visualizations to understand X and Y axis with respect to the usage and where are they located, where are they viewing from. The more deeper understanding of going by the country, by city, by devices, where the systems they are using to either view the file, view the repository, or capture the actual recording. So we try to go on the deeper analysis from country, region, city, device type, the date and time which they are viewing, which is interesting to just understand, oh, they are viewing more on the Wednesday or Tuesday, which you might see a spike on the number of days, and understand the statistics behind that and make up maybe some more strategy on your end and figure out how even this could be more valuable to you.
Yeah, no, beautiful. The visualizations look great. As Vatsal was talking, I pulled up on the screen a Tesla Q1 2022 financial result. So you can see there was a big spike way back in 2022. It's been a little lower since then, but showing that trend line over time, the traffic and engagement to this specific video, which is a landing page on the Speak website. We do the transcription, we do the analysis, and we actually share the interactive player itself. And one even little note there was great. All your shared assets are in here with the total view. You can easily toggle up and down to see your most engaged ones. And then again, click open statistics and you're right there. And as Vatsal also talked about, people love looking at data in different ways. And so that easy toggle between the pie, the bar, the table, all really fantastic ways to look at data in more interactive ways, or the way that sort of speaks to you. This is the first release. We always say, go, hey, this is V1. If you have any notes or any questions or any feedback on what you would like to see in this, please let us know. And just as an example, one of our partners is very excited about this on the shareable media library, but wants even more granular insights into the individual medias. So there's a lot of great opportunity in this sort of framework that we have here now. And I would even say in terms of our first releases, this is a pretty strong one. And a lot of time has been spent looking at the data and analysis, and very granular ones, even by, as Vatsal said, country, region, but then even as granular as city. And for whatever reason, people in Montreal very interested in Tesla Q1 results. Pumped about that. That's live, very easy to navigate into it, and you'll see the same experience. You can go into, again, the embeddable media player. I'll pull that up one more time, and then I'll see if I got any recorders that actually have some responses in here. I do got one. Beautiful. That same function, you can now see that new tab on the statistics there, and you can see even a little bit more specific data for the recorder on the total submissions, average duration, total duration, and even the way that people have been submitting those recordings.
Yeah, I think for the recorder, there are two ways people usually share. One is they share a link which is associated with Speak. And the second way doing that is to put down this recorder on that. So there are multiple ways to share this recorder. And now pulling the information either from, if someone is visiting your website, capturing it, or even under the authentication wall, which really helps you to understand the nitty-gritty details on how are they capturing, where are they capturing, and when they are capturing at the same time, looking at the data and circle back what is actually happening. And there are some issues with, let's say, the mobile version. What percentage are they impacting with that? Or where are you seeing, which devices are they using? And if there's any feedback, you might want to give it back to your customer who are capturing this recording, which will be very crucial.
I don't think this one's got too many questions on it, but we're even doing a little bit of sort of group bulking of the actual questions. Say you have a couple questions that you're getting asked, you'll see a very nice breakdown of that with all the responses based on the submissions. We've gone like optional in the name and then made this required, and you can see some of these emails and everything that have been dropped there. It looks like a couple of them were tests from us. I see my old email there, and also our good friend Nihal, but a great little piece. And then again, you can see what was interesting, even just taking a quick look at this, was the range of browser types versus how people were interacting with that media file. So great to see. And this was a little demo recorder on our website at Speak AI on the actual embeddable recorder page. And so people come, they drop in, they say hi, and we always get a little bit of a laugh when someone comes and submits on the site there. That analysis also applies to the actual media library itself. So if you do have that functionality in Speak, you can check that out now. And if you don't, shoot us a message, give us a call. We're more than happy to turn that on for you. You can now use AI to translate the media and voice. And this is a continuation of multiple releases that we actually did in October that led into November. And we sent emails out and notifications out as we went through this process. And originally we had one that was, hey, just text to text. People said, hey, we want the audio and video. We want to be able to interact and deal with the audio and click and search through the transcript and play back those moments even after the translation. And so we delivered on that. And then we started to hear, hey, but can we actually translate the voice too? And so super excited to say that we delivered on that. You can easily jump in, you can look at a file and you can translate that individual file, but we've also made this super easy and clean on the folder level.
Yeah, I think what you just said, we divided this release into the 3 segments. One is to convert the actual text to text, which is converting from X language to Y. Then people wanted to have the same experience which they are having, especially on the audio and video player. Once the translation is done, to have an experience with the speaker mapping, the time mapping, and they're very happy. However, on the gradual demand which we are seeing is to have the actual final output needs to be translated along with the language. It works exactly same what it used to work before with just text to audio and video, and now with the dubbing feature. Either you apply at the file level, folder level, select multiple files, and just translate all together. And there's this information icon which I have added when you select the language. And if you have the larger file, there are some the dubbing you can see into the beta under the important information as instructions there. Some limitation as it's a new evolving technology with 0.1 and which languages are supported and whatnot.
And so this was the original version of the translation. We translated it to Portuguese and it created that text note. And so this was text note to text note. And what we do in all situations or versions of that is you can see that we pin the language that it was actually translated into. And this was me having fun, just saying relative nonsense here in English, but having a good time. And then I did that simple function where you can actually see if you've created any past translation that it's there and available. And now all I have to do is hit view file. You can see translated to Hindi. And then now 2 sides of this, the interactive transcript, which is translated in Hindi. And if I click on this, I'm speaking Hindi. So I've had a lot of fun with this. And I'm not sure if this plays back on this recording, but you'll get the point. You can go ahead and test it yourself. My wife is Indian and speaks Hindi. And so now I can communicate with her family, send over audio in Hindi. And I probably should have learned Hindi myself, but I'm super happy with this power now. And again, great functionality where I can click on those exact moments, jump to it, and hear my voice back in that language. So powerful, compelling functionality that we've added into the platform. I think when we first started building Speak, the idea of translation was pretty cutting edge at the time, especially the speed and the accuracy. But now to see actually voice-to-voice translation, some people calling this dubbing, especially when you apply it to video, is really mind-blowing and incredible.
On the closing note, what we are seeing and why we have developed this, the dubbing part is with many research companies, they at the end are doing the interviews in multiple languages. And at the end, when they want to share, either they want to share in their native language, just an example, if the interview is being done in English and French, as a combined language, or maybe separate interviews, they wanted to at the end to have all the videos translated to English for 2 reasons. One is, again, better understanding for the internal team if it is required. And second, if they wanted to share with their client, they wanted to have either English and French, both the files available for their better understanding how people are responding to that. Again, this is just an example. Canadian companies with English and French, but that applies to, let's say, Arabic, Portuguese, and French. If they're like happening across multiple languages, it's a very powerful feature to have, maybe just an example, all the files related to Arabic to English in one of your folder and share with your client. Can help you, again, from analytics layer, from visualization, from graphics, to understand how they are responding to this data. So I think it's a lot of values contained in this container with dubbing, with the translation, and this entire package.
Yeah, just to build on that, we've had a couple organizations coming to us where they're using Speak in especially the repository or library as this sort of interactive, intelligent media platform. And so they're working, as an example, an organization that's part of a city, and they have multiple stakeholders in that city where some are speaking Mandarin, some are speaking Spanish, some are speaking French. And so for them to be able to create one video asset and easily translate that, especially with this dubbing part to make it more interactive, engaging, is a huge win for them. So we're excited about that, and 100+ languages in the platform. Not all of them available, but dubbing, you can see, as Vatsal said, they're very clearly labeled which ones. We'll continue to introduce those new languages, but a great capability. And as always, that really nice sort of fluid Speak piece where you take a file, we calculate the duration, and based on that, if you don't have that built into the subscription plan yourself, it will, build that cost up and you can pay for it right on the spot, transact and get back without, huge commitments or anything like that. So we know that's always been one of the reasons why people have loved Speak and will continue to do that. So we continue. We're flying through. Excited about this one. This is a long time coming, and really, the piece here is that you can now save and restore your transcript edits. And we've had professional transcription in our platform for a long time. You can check that out anytime if you need any support with professional transcription. But in that professional transcription, we had this revision system, but it took us a while to migrate it into the internal client application that you are using. But very excited to see that launched here now. And basically the core goal was, if you're making transcript changes, we don't want you to lose those changes. And maybe say you have a change of heart or something changes, you can easily switch back earlier versions of that transcript. Super excited to get this live. I think one of our worst fears here at Speak is that you are editing a transcript, you spend 2 hours on it, and all of a sudden that data is lost or that progress is lost. And we know how painstaking that is. We never want to make that happen. And so this has been an effort to make sure that doesn't happen for you as an end user or customer in Speak. That's the only thing you want to add about the transcript editor. I know this has been an ongoing process from our first transcript editor in 2020.
2020, yeah, true. And just to add on a couple of things there, this transcript editor revision works in 2 ways. One is manually, if you click on save manually, it will save that revision. And as a system, we do auto save behalf of you. So by any chances your laptop shut down or the electricity went out in any unpredictable ways, you will still have all your changes saved in local on your browser, which is a huge win. And we save up to 5 revisions, which is pretty good, which we have found to work with your older version. And anytime if you want to revert back to your original transcription, you can still do that. So it really helps. It auto save as soon as you start making these changes. It takes some time, and it will be available as a drop down with the revision number.
Not sure if that had my intended effect. 1 second here, because I changed.
It's the same version.
So say I've got 1/3 here, but I changed my mind and I want to go back to the actual 1/3 with the spelling version. You can see the revisions there with the time states and which version is even being edited, and I can quickly jump back and forth. And obviously that's just one small change there, but people are spending a ton of time editing this, especially, again, people are making public facing assets, or maybe they're doing research where the analysis accuracy is crucial to getting the output that you want. So transcript accuracy continues to improve, and I think we're nearing this sort of final mile. We've got custom vocabulary in Speak, you've got speaker identification, you've got incredible transcript accuracy compared to where we were just 5 years ago. But there still seems to be these little areas where a comb over or fix might be required. And so for that reason, like always, we see that because we're working so closely with people, build the functionality to make that easier for you. And again, always pumped to make that happen. If you have any feedback on the transcript editor, the saving function, the speakers, let us know. We always love to continue to improve. Over and over, we see all this great analysis capabilities in Speak, but a lot of people are spending a ton of time with the transcript editor.
I think let's talk about the next one, which is the new Zapier recording trigger, which we have launched last month. We had a call with one of our customer, and there's always been a consistent ask, whoever using integration with no-code solution, to have the core functionality of Speak, but make it easier outside the Speak to sync with their either CRM system, either how they wanted to save the data, or they wanted to take it to the third party. There are many different use cases which we are seeing with the no-code solution and the integration. Why this is crucial and what this creates a new value proposition for the user is, we do have in total 7 Zaps already live on Zapier as we are speaking. This is the 8th one which we have launched. So far, those are all related to the insights. All those 7 Zapier were more related to the transcription, capturing the transcription from any party system. However, this is more related to trigger and instant Zap. This is the new Zap. If you compare the existing one with the one we launched, this is the instant Zap. Instant, what it is different, it is the Zapier also labeled differently, as you may can see on the screen. This will instantly trigger any action which you will set up with the Zapier on the spot. It will not take a minute, it will not take 2 minutes, nothing, it will be on the spot. So it really creates a value to capture the actual file URL of the recorder which has been captured by the speak recording. So it's incredibly quick and really support the end-to-end workflow for the user there.
So as Vatsal said, we have a bunch of triggers and they continue to be added. And if you're not using Zapier, you can use the API, but this is a great functionality. And the one that most people were relying on, even though often they were using just a recorder, was new automated transcription. And what we were finding was there was customers who were maybe uploading files through the meeting assistant or locally on their computer, but then they were also using the recorder, and all files got jumbled up in the response. You get a big list of all the files that you've ever uploaded into Speak. And so one of the things we want to do, first of all, just make this clean for you, where you're just getting recorder submissions, and then much easier to say filter and look at specific recorders versus what you were doing previously, where you're having to filter the recorder and the type of file upload itself. And then really just trying to expose things that have always been there that are just cleaner. So we've got the actual media URL if you're trying to do something with the file that's encaptured, and much nicer structure of the recordings questions that happen. So this example, we've got this optional one, and this one the person didn't submit, but you can see the recording questions that had been asked, the answer to that. And then I think we also weren't transcribing this one as well too, but very nice structure of how those insights and the data comes back. And what's great about that is, say you're trying to push this somewhere, as Vatsal said, maybe you're trying to push this into a CRM system. Very nice structure to easily pull out that data, push it the way that you want. And I think just a nice piece to add to the puzzle of Speak when you're trying to populate systems or send data wherever you want. So excited to have this introduced. It's live here today. Anyone with the Zapier connection can use it. And the API is available in your portal within Speak. I'm not going to show you ours because then you would see our API key on the sidebar here. Hit that API key, grab it, put it into Zapier, and you're good to go. And I think the one other really important part that Vatsal touched on was that instant. And if you have a bunch of files that are uploading at once, even there's a little bit of a delay, maybe that could mess up your workflow. You don't have to worry about this with the instant trigger here. Those are some major updates. We classify them here because if we include everything, we would be here for hours every month. And we love what we're doing, but I don't think you want to hear us talk for that long. Major, minor. And so a couple of things that were just added into the platform that are important and things just to note. One, that if you are in the actual application itself and you're recording a file, we've added the pause function. And we had a bunch of teams, we didn't even realize this, who were live recording in the app, maybe doing meetings or something like that. And so say they were recording, maybe they would have a little intermission. This isn't going to exactly work because I'm tapped into the mic there, but I can hit pause and see the timestamp starts saying a bunch of stuff that doesn't matter. And then I'm going to pull it in and start to resume that recording. So it will bundle it up into one nice file and make you have that submission. So again, maybe you're doing a meeting where something isn't relevant, maybe something you don't want to be recorded, easily hit that pause button, go through with the submission.
Yeah, correct. With the pause button, there are some technical limitations, and that's why we have still into the beta. We are still working through that, finding any issues if any users will have it. But it's a really helpful and important function. The second, which is a minor update regarding, is the screen sharing. It's related to this embeddable recorder we touched upon, but when you are sharing a screen, you would always love to have 1080 or 720 pixel while you do the screen sharing. And where on the embeddable recorder, we do offer multiple options, either just do the audio recording, video recording, upload a file, or do the screen sharing. And with the screen sharing, some improvements on our end to give you the better quality output at the end.
I was considering screen sharing, but then I would be screen sharing a screen share. I thought I might end up a little bit in the matrix there, but great function on the recorder. And you can create that very easily. As Vatsal said, you're just into the setting component and those nice granular options that he was mentioning. All you have to do, hit screen recording, hit save, and then that recorder is good to go.
Exactly. And I think the last two are, connected with each other. I have spent some time to rework or recalibrate the speaker management into the audio and video data. As you can see on the screen, there are like multiple speakers in this one, and it's a high level. You can see what's happening, what's the percentage, and how long they have been talking into this particular session. But if you click on one of this person name there, you will be able to see the timeline, where are they speaking, and you can skip those moments, click on the next button, maybe in the timeline, which will allow you to jump to those next moments quickly. A couple of things we missed in the last update were not to highlight the actual presence of those timestamps. And that's the one thing we have found this month. fixed it, deployed. Same thing for the keywords and the speakers. Clear understanding when something is happening, when someone is talking about that particular part, and jumped right into the transcription.
Beautiful. So always these quality life improvements in the application, and love to see those going live for you. And there was a bunch of other product updates, but these were the ones that made the bullet points. And again, always looking to improve. What's coming next if we took out the crystal ball? I know this one's been talking about for a while, trying to introduce this PayPal payment option for you. A couple blockers there, technical, legal, financial, due diligence, all that stuff as you open up a new payment processing. So hopefully we do have an update. I think one of the other pieces that we talked about was how can we improve the prices even further. So we started with these discounts on the longer term plans and hopefully giving you, again, more value. We're going to continue to work on that and hopefully have some announcements here for you. And then the video clipping and highlight reeling. So this has been something we've talked about for quite a while. And we're still actually talking with some of our really close partners who are using the system on like, how do they want the clipping function to work and what's the best way to do this? And is it a more of a manual clipping versus are you using the AI to do it? And then how can we, if moving more towards the AI, build out these contextual clips that are relevant for you and, you know, create those highlight reels and everything. So still a little bit of discovery on that. If you're interested in this capability, shoot us a message, let us know. We're trying to gain clarity and make sure that we're in the right direction that fits the use case that you have in the way that you imagine using this. But this has been a highly requested functionality for years at Speak, and super excited to make some progress on that. These are things that are front-facing pieces, but we've spent a lot of time over the last couple months also optimizing some of the back end of Speak, making it run more efficiently, helping you have better interactions in the platform, improving security in the platform, all these things that we know are really important. We had a year of these big, massive, flashy releases that are super exciting, but when you spend all the time doing that, you come back, you tighten up the platform, you make those optimizations, make sure those core experiences of the platform are strong. If you want to get in contact, please feel encouraged to reach out. Live chat's always there. There's success@speakai.co, the email, and then there's a nice link if you want to book a call. And if you're a customer, you've got a dedicated link. You can jump on that anytime. And what am I seeing on these badges? The G2 High Performer. So excited to see that. Really appreciate you continuing to leave reviews and for G2 for giving us that recognition. And then we continue on the building your perfect plan. How can we help you customize Speak the way that you want? We continue to work on this part of the sort of optimizations that we're talking about. But one of the reasons why people have really liked Speak is, hey, maybe I've got a 6-month project. I want to work with the system really intensely for that. And then after that, I'm going to do more minimal analysis and storage of the data. And so trying to meet you in the middle on the way that you want to work and be very flexible with those plans. As always, jump in, hit that pricing page, and you can easily customize that plan. So you got some incentive here for the users at Speak?
Yep. So share some G2 reviews with us. Leave us 5-star. Happy to offer you some balance in your account, and always working hard to give you the best platform and offering.
And yes, I'm just pulling it up slowly on the screen here, all the reviews that people have left, and really appreciate, again, all of you who have done that. Some people have come and actually claimed the incentive. Other people just love the platform. We're grateful for both subsets of those, but we know time is valuable. You got lots going on. So this is one of our ways to get you to leave that review. So lastly, I think one of the ways that we're also seeing people use Speak and love Speak, also promoting Speak to others. And what's crazy, 2,000 plus affiliates are doing that, 30% commission they're earning on every transaction. So not just a yearly subscription, a monthly plan, every pay-as-you-go transaction or whatever you want, you can share Speak and get that 30% commission. Start of the month here, and I just paid out a bunch of affiliates there. And I always say this, I love sending those people money. I will never be upset taking that money out of our bank account and sending it to them because they deserve it. And we really appreciate you promoting Speak. Brings us to the end of the November 2024 update. We really appreciate you viewing. That's any last thoughts as you sign off here for the month?
Nope. Awesome. Yeah. Share any thoughts, any feedbacks, anything. If you or maybe just want to send a message, send us on LinkedIn, email. Always happy to talk, always happy to help. And that's the roundup for this month updates.
Awesome. Okay. We're in Toronto, Canada, just outside. I'd say we're still no snow on the ground here yet. The weather's been good. Hoping for a little bit of that, and excited to close out the year. Not even 2 months left. We look forward to seeing you in December. Thanks so much for checking this out, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day.